Living with Dr. Marissa.
Promise you joy in the mystery.
Dr. Marissa, also known as the Asian Oprah. Her mission, to be a beneficial presence on the planet. Her purpose, to be your personal advocate to live, laugh, love, learn. Her life motto, don't die wondering. Take back your life with Dr. Marissa Pay.
Good, and oops, my camera fell. And good morning. You're tuned into Take My Advice. I'm not using it. Get balanced with Dr. Marissa, the morning show here on KCAA, NBC News Radio, CNBC News Radio, NBC Sports Radio station, KCAA, AM 1050, FM 106.5, and streaming everywhere. iHeartRadio, Spotify, Stitcher, iTunes, TuneIn, Audible, Tiki Live, Amazon Music, let's see, Rumble, and more. And let's see, this is show number 904. Those of you who said a show about hope and happiness would not last were wrong. Instead, you got me for 568 consecutive weeks on the air, and coming up on 11 years, May 1st. And I got to tell you, I am feeling all 903 shows this morning. I'm so delighted, though, that I get to not talk as much this morning, because I am delighted to have two of my favorite co-hosts. They're all my favorite, but today they're on screen with me. And you will notice that we've got a sandwich going.
Good morning, Sam.
Good morning.
Oh boy, I better watch myself. I have very little filter this morning. Like I drove back at like midnight from San Diego, and I was telling Polly backstage, like, you know, a lot of people say to me, I don't know how you do it. And I am officially like, I have no forking idea how I do it either, because I think I overdid it this time, but I am delighted to be here. And if you are wondering who these amazing, beautiful people are in my studio, you have my regular co-host on Fridays. The series is called Tempting Conversations, and she is the daughter of Otis Williams of the Temptations. Incredible group, spanned over decades. He's still performing. He's amazing, and I am very fortunate to have Elan as my co-host for Tempting Conversations on Friday. She's a mother, she's a producer, she is a former, and she just did a special for Playboy Channel for her work as a Playboy bunny. Let's see what else. She's managing her son, my favorite musical artist, Trace Austin's career now, who did not fall far from his grandfather's tree. She's also a connoisseur of really good sushi, and we have an upcoming date to see butter. So please welcome to the studio my Tempting Conversations host, Elan Carter.
Good morning.
And then to the middle of our sandwich this morning, he's never been in a better position. He's not on the top or the bottom. He is in the middle of the sandwich. He is my co-host on Thursdays, Straight Talk with Dr. Marissa and
Same words.
He's into real estate. He used to be my sound engineer. He is a Sam of all trades, and a delight to work with and continue to work with. And those of you who missed it, Elan actually came onto our show on Thursdays, and it was a hit. I think the last time I looked, that little clip that I took out from the show, from that show, got like 2,700 views and hits on that. So that was amazing. So let's see what happens when Sam comes literally. No, doesn't come literally, but he comes into our studio. On Friday.
The last show, because Sam led into something and I just finished it for him. So you're gonna get into these situations being sandwiched between the two of us.
I know.
Speaking of sandwiches, let's go right to our gratitude sandwich before we lose all control of this show. Gratitude sandwich, taking a bite of it, not a bite of Sam, a bite of the gratitude sandwich is 8 specific things that we're grateful for on the top of the bun and 8 specific things to be grateful for on the bottom of the bun about yourself, also called appreciation. So who wants to start? On the count of 3, point to the person on the screen you want to have start. 1, 2, 3. Yeah. Okay, Sam.
Actually, I meant Dr. Marissa. I don't know which.
I'm going the wrong way. This way.
Sam, you got the most fingers.
I'm just getting tortured this morning, aren't I?
Yeah,
okay. I guess the first thing that I'm grateful for is, living close to my family. I think that's definitely something I'm really grateful for.
All right, Elan.
I am grateful for, I had a great opportunity this week to work with a great cast and get back into what I do the best. And just had a wonderful week.
Fantastic. I am grateful that I made it through 2 weeks in Toronto with my mom, who's in palliative care and with Parkinson's. Flew in directly to go and cover Secret Knocks, where I got to meet new great people, the man behind Dirty Dancing, Terminator 2. I got to interview Larry Kasnoff, and a whole host of other people that I'll be talking about on Monday. Sam.
I am grateful for, honestly, my blanket. I don't want to show you guys, but it's super comfy and furry, and it puts me right to sleep. And I used to have sleeping problems, but because of this blanket, knocks me right out. So
you need to go contact them to get a sponsorship.
For a blanket?
That's product endorsement right there.
Yes.
Yeah, seriously. Like the average, I know TV commercials are $1 million is the average for 30 seconds. I think radio is at least 500,000. So, and we have cameras in the studio. So you're more than welcome to go after them and get the money and give it to me. For my nonprofit, 8 Ways to Happiness, that helps kids, teens, and young adults who have temporarily forgotten their birthright to happiness. And while we're on that, you can go to Amazon when you're shopping and just put Smile Amazon and put 8 Ways to Happiness. Until May, they're giving a little bit of love money-wise. Amazon is. They're concluding the project in May. So from now till then, we appreciate it. All right. Elan.
I'm grateful to be on the show with both of you guys this morning.
I'm grateful.
I feel like something's coming. I don't know.
Really? Really, Sam?
We're going to take...
That's TMI. I am, last but not least, grateful that I have the opportunity to do a lot of different things. And no matter how tired I get, I truly, bottom line, am very grateful for that. All right, let's go to the bottom of the bun. Who wants to be on the bottom? Appreciation is specific things that you like about yourself. And if you don't like yourself, it's going to be really difficult to be liked by others and also like others yourself. It's one of those laws. So I believe that happiness starts with self-love. And that's why I do this, to make sure you know what you're good at most of the time, 88% of the time. You know what your unique talents, gifts, and abilities are in this lifetime, because if you can't approve of yourself, how the fork do you expect anyone else to approve of you? So I'll start with that one. I appreciate my hair. And, it's my one thing that I don't have that huge, when I look in the mirror, I'm working on all that stuff. So I appreciate that my hair is unique.
I appreciate. Oh, you want to go?
No. I was saying she has beautiful hair.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Looks almost like mine. No, I'm just kidding. I appreciate that I forgive myself as the days go on, even though not every day is perfect, so you can't hate yourself too much. So
Great.
I appreciate that I can wake up early in the morning for work.
I made a bet.
I had to get up at 5 a.m. for the job the other day.
Oof.
Yeah, so this was easy today.
I made a bet this morning which one of you would be later than the other. You're
I had the wrong login. I'm actually on my phone because I couldn't get in the computer in time because I was in the wrong studio. I would have Sam.
I appreciate that. I have a great sense of humor, even though some of the time it's just laughing at myself. It's okay. Laughter to me is cardio for my soul. So I'm getting a good workout this morning.
I appreciate about myself that, a lot of people that they give up sooner than they should. Maybe I'm just saying that sometimes you just got to know when to fold them. But I mean, I keep pushing. I think that, times of adversity is a good thing. And when I start to struggle in life, I just think that, there's a reason for that. So I just keep pushing. And it turns out to be okay so far. So I'm going to keep going.
I'm leaving that word pushing alone. All right, Elan.
She's been bad this week.
I know.
It's not me. Started on you.
It's been a while.
I appreciate that I oh my God, I can't even talk. I'm getting hot in here. I appreciate that I can forgive my flaws. I can see my flaws and forgive myself for the flaws that if I have any.
Yeah, Betty.
I'm backing up. I'm anchoring my joy here. I appreciate that I got back on my Love My Body Project 4.0 and lost the 2 pounds. I lost 2 out of the 6 pounds that I gained in Canada.
No, is that a wrap, or are we still going?
Oh yeah, 2 more. 2 more, 1 each.
Okay. I appreciate that. I'm gonna say what I said yesterday. I appreciate that I have patience. I think that's important in my life to have patience. So, hello, my friend, Island French Polynesia.
Yay! We have a new listener from French Polynesia, Tahiti. Welcome, Virali Wohler. And if you have a gratitude or appreciation, feel free to post it and we'll put it up. Elan, last appreciation official.
Oh, wow. I appreciate that I got my car out the shop. That's nothing to do with me.
Yeah, she's got a really snazzy car.
No, I have a bone to pick with the car dealership. So I'll wait till the next show, but I gotta out them.
I know we should do one show because normally I don't, even if I don't like a company or what's been happening, I don't like to be negative at all. But I think we should do one show where all we can balance it out, all the good companies and then all the not so good companies, because I also had a bad experience with somebody. So we'll wait for that.
Well, you know what? If they steal your money, then it's okay to out them. That's not negative.
Yeah. Well, too. Yeah, we have a responsibility too, that you know, you wouldn't want someone who took advantage of you to go and take advantage of somebody else too. So, but thank you for the heart. If you've just tuned in, I see eyeballs rolling in. So I just want to make sure you know what you are tuned into. This is Take My Advice. I'm not using it. Get balanced with Dr. Marissa, the morning show here on KCAA, AM 1050, FM 106.5, streaming everywhere, iHeartRadio, Spotify, and live streaming. And you are participating on my YouTube channel, which reminds me, I have to make sure I get that link on the link tree for you. We are talking today about nothing. You know that Seinfeld show about nothing? Remember that? Or Sam, you might be too young, but Elan will remember.
It's on an episode of Seinfeld.
Yeah, I love that. That it made me laugh at all.
And I had never seen the show before. And when I got the part and I got on the show, everyone's like, what are you working on? I'm like, Seinfeld. And everyone was like, thought it was such a big deal. And I had never seen the show. And I hung out with him all when I was filming. He was the nicest guy. I had so much fun. And then I knew what it was. Yeah.
What?
I mean, I know Seinfeld's pretty important in, you know, today's culture. So.
Oh my God, Elan, I didn't know that.
We always find something out every show.
Every show, but that is like, what are the chances that I said spontaneously just now, because I didn't do that in the promo, about a show about nothing, and then you tell me that? Like, what the fork? That's so awesome. I call those like naxidentally. It's not accidentally. Accidentally. Yeah, exactly. We have an appreciation here from V. She says, I believe it's a she. I appreciate that I'm always smiling all day long so that I feel grateful to be alive. And now you know why she is a supporter of this show. She has drunk my rose-colored Kool-Aid and is splattering it all over us. Thank you so much. I'm going to give her a special little acknowledgement here because you know how much I loved it. All right. So, what do you remember where we left off on the last time the two of you were spouting? Oh,
Valentine's and what guys have to do. And I told him the whole is for you to get like extra goodies that day. So you need to work harder with the little
literally harder.
Yes. And planning. He's got
but I have to tell on Sam. Yesterday we had my Tuesday. This week is Cohost-cross pollination week. And I had my Tuesday co-host, Beth Linder Moss, who is a fitness certified, physiology certified, everything, health, wellness trainer, everything. And so the topic was, you know, what if your mate is not into working out? That applies to you too, and into fitness and health like you are. Is that a deal breaker, or is that, you know, something you can work through? Because her husband is completely not like her, but he's not like heavy overweight. He's just thin, just doesn't work out as much as she does. But I thought Sam was going to do his regular, and because I brought up, you know, should you look like the way you did when you first met, and is it the woman's responsibility to still look like that? And when you were on with him, he's all, you know, you need to keep, you know, that's why you got to keep your body looking. And then he completely reversed yesterday to not get in trouble. He's like, oh, looks are not that important, and it's like all in that, you know, the personality. I'm like, who is this? And what did you do with Sam?
Well, Sam, you take it in because of personalities.
What? Say that again.
Don't say what's politically correct.
No, all I'm saying, well, Dr. Marissa, if you're gonna quote me, you gotta quote me. You just can't put in filler words.
Why not?
I said if you're in a relationship with somebody, just for the looks, then you're in the wrong relationship, right? Because over time, your body's going to change and you're not going to be as young as you used to be.
Yep.
And as far as like, the physicality of things, okay, you might have a six-pack back then, you don't now. I mean, yeah, I don't think you should slow down and be a slob, but then like life changes, Like if you got with someone when you guys were young, like let's say teenagers, you guys were in sports, you guys were being hyperactive. Fast forward, like, I don't know, 10, 15 years later, now you got careers, now you're working like 9 to 5 or whatever the case may be. You're not being as active because you're working, like there's no fountain of youth. You can't be the same you were 10, 15 years ago. So if you are bickering with your significant
And
other is saying like, I wish you were just the way you were when I first met, then that's not being realistic. You know what I mean? But at the same time, it's like you should always try to better yourself, even if your body's slowing down and aging and all that stuff. That's just being realistic. I get it. It's part of life.
A clean routine. You know,
Yeah.
you know what, I heard something, I thought this was the best response for aging, and this was recently. They say that when people get married, God forbid, like hopefully you stay together with this person, and as you get older and you start hitting 50s and 60s, right? You see that person as you saw them when you first met them in their 20s or 30s, right? You see them as a young person, the person you fell in love with, the person you were attracted to. So when you grow old, the other people might see them as being older, but your partner sees them as the person that they first saw when they were younger. And so that's why it's important to keep yourself up and make the effort to try to do your best. Not that for physical reasons, you may not be able to stay in shape and work out or whatever, but if you could do the best that you can, that person, your partner, sees you as the person they met when you were young. Does that
so
make
I'm
sense?
going to put, yeah, it makes sense, but I'm going to put the moose on the table directly. Y'all know that's my Canadian version of elephant in the room, because you've got one extreme of you cannot body shame, you cannot fat shame, you cannot criticize people for the way they look, looksism, all of that, which as a valuing diversity person, inclusive person, I absolutely say, you ask yourself 3 questions. Is it kind? Is it true? Is it necessary? If you can't say yes to all 3, keep your mouth shut. Keep the front door shut. However, Sam was talking about a mutual friend of ours who struggles with health, and he makes choices that are not necessarily healthy. And so, at what point do you not publicly shame, but privately say, hey, knock it off, don't eat that, take something out of it. I know my big brother, Michael Bernard Beckwith, he's very healthy, and like, if I used to have drink Diet Coke, and he would walk by and just take the can out of my hand and then put it in the trash. That to him, that's like loving, right? But at what point, I have to say, and be honest, I do judge. And when I hear people complain about, my knee hurts, my hips hurt, and they are, an added 200 pounds over the weight that they, that their joints maybe were made to be carried, and they're putting a Krispy Kreme donut in their mouth, or, an entire happy, not so happy meal, ingesting. I'm like, there's a connection there. I don't want to shame you, but at what point do we not say to people, if you don't like what your body's telling you and it's hurting, then you got to take the responsibility and do the hard thing and not put that in your mouth. But then on the other hand, I y'all know I've been on this Love My Body project. 35 pounds overweight. And I've lost the 35 minus the 4 still from Canada. But that was not easy to do, but it was my discipline and decision. So that's where I, here, and then the middle.
Jam. I'm all judgmental. I think, for us to say we don't criticize people, we don't say politically incorrect things. We do. I do. My kids get on my case all the time, but I'm not malicious. But, like I have a saying, I was, even with my spouse, I'll say to him when he gets overweight and he's got a little fluffy, and I was like, I don't mean you no harm, but it's for your own good. You need to drop about 30 pounds. Like I tell him, and he'll say things to me. I think because of modeling, I don't get offended, but it depends on the person. Sometimes they, can't take it, but sometimes you just put it to them like, just because I want you to be healthy for your, just for your own self-worth, you should take care of yourself. I mean, talking about donuts, I saw someone that was pretty big in the donut shop buying a dozen donuts. If you buy a dozen donuts and you're 400 pounds, I'm not going to say anything, but I will, you shouldn't be in the donut shop. They have to say anything. And I don't mean that to be mean, but my opinion, you shouldn't be in the donut shop. I should be in the donut shop.
Well, that's the thing. It's like, they're also the ones that go in for procedures. And to go to the other extreme again, I know there's people that are mad that they are putting a strain on the healthcare system because they're not responsible. I'm not saying this myself. I might be thinking it, but there are people who will say out loud, look, your obesity is taking dollars in the healthcare that is straining the system, and those who have diseases that are not when you have a condition that has nothing to do with your lifestyle, that's not fair. So if you choose a lifestyle that you don't care about how big you get or how heavy you get, then why should we be paying for your health care? Now that's extreme, and I've heard it, and I'm not saying that's where I come from, but that's what people say.
So
okay, let Sam go. I think the girls have dominated for the last 10
We haven't yet.
My thing
let's squeeze them. Let's squeeze something out of them. Go squeeze.
My thing when it comes to people having those procedures, I don't think that that's the answer. Only because for the most part, majority of these people that do get the procedures, they got there because of their lack of discipline. And so once they get the procedures, a lot of them gain the weight back, and it's almost like wasn't even worth it, because if you were able to be disciplined in your eating and in your habits, A, you wouldn't get to where you need the procedure, and B, you wouldn't even want the procedure. But a lot of people get these procedures and then they lack it's all like getting big is just the byproduct of having really crappy discipline. And at one point, it's not even about discipline. It will turn into a habit, like a lifestyle, to where you just want to eat right. It's not like every day healthy people are fighting to stay healthy. That's not the case. Once you build up that habitual discipline, then it just becomes a lifestyle. And it's just as easy as someone who doesn't have that. So when people get these procedures, it's kind of okay, so our friend's a different story because I've been working with him 3 or 4 months prior to his procedure. And it got to the point where he was like, he believed in himself. He's like, I don't think I need the procedure. He's like, if I lose 10 pounds every 2 weeks, then I'll just keep postponing the procedure. And we made that deal and we started doing it. But the reason why he got the procedure is because of his age, not because of his discipline, but because of his age. He's approaching 60. So it's like by the time you lose all that weight, you know, so it's like, hey, let's get the procedure. Your discipline is good. We'll just keep working on it and I'll still be there. But for the people who like, I will smack someone's soda out of their hand if they're the ones that, you know, keep asking for help. Like, oh, I want to lose weight. Oh, I want to do this. And then I see them not participating in what they were saying, then that's when I step in. But if someone is like overweight or overset and they're not complaining, they're just doing their thing, 9 times out of 10, I let them be. And 9 times out of 10, like because of like their weight, you know, they kind of have to counterbalance their personality. Like they have great personalities. Usually overweight people are funny or super nice, you know? And that's from my personal experience.
They make fun of themselves. But you know what? Also, I do want to say this though, Sam. Sometimes it's about education. Like if you, and I don't want to make this a cultural thing, but I just want to make this a social economic issue, right? No matter what culture or race you come from. If you go, there's a study, and if you go to the inner cities, right, and you look at the things that are available, if you don't know to eat better, there's a fast food restaurant on all four corners of any intersection in the inner cities. So if you grow up with a Popeyes, a McDonald's, a KFC, a Burger King, and then as a kid, that's the only thing you can afford because you couldn't afford the groceries, then you grow up eating like that. And when you grow up eating like that, then that's how you are programmed as an adult. So then you don't know how to eat better. Because if I said, hey, you should go eat light, like I love Japanese food, I love Asian food because it's light, it's not heavy. I can eat Mexican food sometime. I can eat soul food like once a year because it's too heavy for me. But if you don't know to eat that, to eat differently, then you're just going to eat what you know. And if someone says lose weight, you're like, what do you mean lose weight? So I think sometimes it's a economic thing for some of these people, because I just, you know, it's interesting because we did a study in when I was in school, and they said in all the inner cities, there were no banks, there's only check cashing places, and there was only fast food restaurants. And it was inundated with fast food restaurants. So these kids don't know because they're fed garbage from their childhood, right? So I think that all the schools should have some kind of education on vegetables and you know, good meats and all that kind of stuff, you know, so the kids know that a vegetable is important. Just think about our grandparents. Our grandparents were healthy and they lived to be old. They may have not lived as long, but they ate basic stuff.
Mm-hmm.
We're the ones, we eat so much junk, so many things available. Even in schools, they sell chips and cookies.
Yeah.
So I just think it starts.
If you've just tuned in and you're wondering what we're talking about and who's in the studio, this is Take My Advice, I'm Not Using It, Get Balanced with Dr. Marissa, the morning show on KCAA, NBC News Radio, home to the Asian Oprah, AM 1050, FM 106.5, streaming everywhere, iHeartRadio, Spotify, Stitcher, and of course my YouTube channel. Thank you for joining us live. We see the fingers and the likes. This finger, not the other one. And we are talking, this is Tempting Conversations series every Friday at 8 a.m. after the NBC News with my beautiful co-host, Elan Carter. And today we have a special sandwich filling. Sam Works is my co-host on Thursdays for Straight Talk. And we are talking about body image, body size, health and well-being, and sort of the oxymoronic way in which our BS, our belief systems are operating. I think that it is very dangerous to say anything that is, you know, cause and effect, all overweight people are because of lack of discipline. but there is some truth to every stereotype. And there are a lot of people who are not cognizant or watching or aware, as Elan is saying, of the link between you would think it's common sense, but common sense is uncommon. And if you have been raised on processed food drive-through, and that is unfortunately cheaper, right? They've made it cheaper to have that food instead of healthier. And especially now post-pandemic, fruits and vegetables, eggs are the most like stunning increase in dollars. So I think it's really important to balance out some of the judgment, but at the same time, balance it with some responsibility. And there is a part of truth when, the studies show eating this will lead to increased heart disease. Eating this will lead to increased cancer, or using, the aluminum-based deodorant leads to more breast cancer, or, all of this medical research is not for, just for fun, right? It's helping us understand how we can take care of our bodies. So if that information is available and you choose not to follow it, and then you complain about your body size or your lack of health, where is that balance? Where does responsibility meet your current state of where you are? And that's a tough one, because if as soon as you start down that path and say, there should be healthcare, a special healthcare for people who actually take responsibility for their health and are careful about what they put in their body and do exercise to keep their body in shape, is it fair to group all of us together with those who don't give a flying fork through a rolling donut, and literally a rolling donut?
Down a question, since I'm just going to go in a different direction.
Okay.
Say intimacy. Does size matter to you?
Intimacy, what?
Does size matter? Not size like we think size. Size different for you.
The boat, the motion in the ocean, size of the boat, that one?
Well, no, she's asking about like my side. Like, and let me tell you, you know what I used to say?
No.
He got that. He got that.
Yeah, I used to say more cushion for the pushing. That's what I used to say.
I have not heard that.
Have you experienced to know like there's more cushion for the pushing is more enjoyable than someone who's tall and thin
and bony? I'm gonna say it.
Bony.
Yes. That's so funny. So
I said EY, not ER.
So there's another stereotype out there that like chubbier girls give, better head, basically. I don't know if I was allowed to say that on the air, but
no. What
is that terminology?
Yeah.
Bad.
Elan just dropped out. Careful, Sam. Let's just say they're better in bed. We can say that.
But that's not true though.
True. I know, but I'm afraid that I'm gonna get in trouble for this. So be careful. Yeah.
So, but I mean, I've had like a lot of experience on that, but that's just like, you hear that every once in a while. It's a stereotype. It's different.
I think Elan's internet, she's out in the valley, but
Okay.
Yeah, go ahead. So what were you go ahead? What were you saying?
I mean, it's all different. I mean, with thinner people, they don't like their love handles. However, I think that's when it comes to like intimacy, that's one of my favorite parts of the body is the love handles. Um, and then with bigger set people, they they don't move as much, you know? Like they're a little more lazy in a sense. So it's like it's not as fun as with someone who's, you know, lighter on their feet. So
Oh, Alon's missing this. Okay, so I think it is again a personal and there is always that danger in the stereotype, and there are exceptions to every stereotype, and I will go back to the I I think that what is not helping is society's definition or what is in the media as what is attractive. I think that that is hurtful, where you believe that you have to be a certain size or a certain weight or a certain look to be considered attractive. And that the more we can individualize, like you said, I actually like it when there's something to grab onto, or there's whatever that cushion thing you were saying.
more cushion for the pushing.
I didn't mean for you to say it again, but then that becomes it really is. If the bottom line here, and I mean the bottom literally, is what do you like about yourself? What do you appreciate about your body? What do you like
She's
and
bad.
are
My
appreciative
phone got hot.
about
Sorry.
your body? Oh man, your phone got hot because Sam got hot and said something that I may get in trouble for, but we're not
I
repeating
heard
it.
that.
We're
As
not
soon as you
repeating it.
said
I'll tell
that,
you later.
no, I heard it. As soon as you said that, I thought she pushed the button to get us off, and then it went phones hot, 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 hot. Literally. It just, I go, oh, Dr. Marissa pushed the button and kicked us off, and it went hot, and I heard it, and I was like, gosh, I didn't even get a chance to respond to that. But I thought you were gonna say something. I thought you were gonna say something else I've heard about bigger women. But I better not say it.
Look at how red he's getting. Look at how
No,
red
'cause
do you see
I
how red
thought-
he's getting?
for whatever reason, I thought I offended you, or like I wasn't supposed to say that. I don't, you know what I mean?
No.
I thought there was like
So,
careers on the line or something.
I've heard from like tall, thin women, there's more distance, if you know what I mean.
Right. Dr. Marissa,
Okay,
you need to stay on board. You need to
Yeah. I'm trying. You're good. You guys are trying. You're very trying this morning.
She's turning red, but she's turning
So
sideways.
Alon,
Yeah, I'm red for sure.
yeah, your phone is definitely a smart phone. It got hot, and then it cut you out.
And it said emergency. Your phone is super. Literally, the temperature, little vial temperature thing went on the phone, and it was like red, and it was like the little temperature thing was on. Oh my gosh.
That's funny.
Oh, sigh.
Well, I'm glad you're back because I was getting nervous.
No, but go ahead, keep on. I'm mad
Okay.
because I got
If you
I got
So
kicked off
Dr.
the part.
Go ahead.
Dr. Marissa was talking about loving your body. So I think she wanted to go around and say like, what part of your body do you love? Right? Is that where you're going?
No, that's not where I was going. I was just trying to get us off that hot topic as quickly as possible, because we crossed the line on Sam crossed the line on that one. But I said what you missed too was part of the issue, I believe, is the way we are portrayed as what equals attractive. So, especially with the ability to use filters for pictures now, to Photoshop, inches off, because there is this um, unspoken and spoken ideal for what women should look like. And I think that that hurts some of our own perceptions of, what we are we not attractive if we have love handles to hold on to? Are we less attractive if we don't look like the model, right? And I used to joke that I wished I was born in the Renaissance, because in the Renaissance, the more the better, right? That was the definition of beauty. So my bottom line is, the most important thing is not what is shown on social media as the ideal, but where do you feel the most comfortable, and can you love your body the way it is? Can you
Well,
love your body
I
even
think
at the same time working towards something?
I think that for
Go ahead.
me, I think that part of the issue is, if you have a partner and I think it's more of being insecure if you are not the mode of what social media and the media has portrayed what a great body is, or what the way you look. I mean, this documentary I did the other day with Playboy, that's part of what we talked about, being the standard beauty of what America portrays. For me, my response was, well, who gets to say what is beautiful, what's not? First of all, who is saying that's not the standard beauty? Because I'm not an insecure person. But if you are secure with yourself, say, Sam, you were my partner, right? I'm just putting it out there. I'm not putting you with me. I'm just saying we're out together and you see some beautiful girl with a great body. I personally don't get offended. I'm not going to get mad. I'm like the first one to say to my spouse, that girl's gorgeous. Or if she has like a really banging dress, because women kind of dress for each other. I'm like, oh my God, that dress is gorgeous. I think when women get upset because, now if you're staring at the girl like you want to eat her up, I'm going to be offended. But if you can like look and we both can be like, oh yeah, that she's really hot, and you can keep it moving, then that's fine. I think women get insecure that person is looking at them like, I'm not really attracted to you anymore because she's so hot. That's not necessarily true. I can look at someone and go, that guy is super fine. Like I tell my husband, like, as far as I acknowledge women when we're together, it's the same thing with men. I'll look at, like, I think Jason Momoa is hot, right? And I tell him that all the time. But I could say that, but it doesn't mean that I'm going to do anything. I think that you have to be comfortable with each other and not be so upset. I think women get really jealous and they get really insecure, and they think, oh, because that guy looked at that woman who's really hot with a great body or on the beach, that he's going to go and try to, I'm going to say it nice because I don't want to get in trouble either. But you know what I mean? Like, I'm going to meet her and get her number and hook up with her. That's not going to happen. But I think that that's where some of the insecurity comes in, because you do change as you get older. You do change after you have kids. You can still look good, but you may not look exactly like that. And I think it's more of an insecure thing with both sexes.
What are your thoughts on that, Dr. Marissa?
Oh, I was just going to ask you, what are your thoughts on that?
I think, yeah, I mean, we're all humans. So if you see beauty, you're going to look at it. But I mean, at a glance, I personally don't like it when I'm out with the girl and then they're like, oh my gosh, like, she has a fat butt, look at it. I'm like, why you tell me to look at it? Like, you want me to, like, not, you know what I mean? Like, it drives me crazy. But what used to drive me even more crazy is that I used to, like, purposely not look around or like gaze at anyone if I'm with someone. Like, my eyes are only on you, you know what I mean? And maybe that's like a sign of weakness because, like, you don't want to be attracted to someone else out following. But I just wanted to prove to them, it's like, I'm not trying to look behind your back at some other chick when they walk by, or like, 100% my eyes are on you. But then that started to drive me a little crazy because when I'm out in public, you know, I'm purposely not looking. So as the days go on, when I'm with somebody, it's like I feel like I have neglected life itself by not looking, you know? And it's even
I think
worse when you're
that you should, in my opinion,
It's even
I
worse. What?
I was gonna say, in my
uh
opinion, Sam, I think you should be like, that girl's really beautiful and be with your partner, but then you turn around and look at her like, that girl's hot, but look, I'm with you. That makes her feel more secure. Because if I see a hot girl and you try to act like you don't see her, I'm like, you're full of you know what? Because I know you saw that hot girl because I saw her.
hey, usually now it's like this when I see like a hot girl walk by and they say like, you know, whatever is popping, I'll just be like, hey, look, she has some nice jeans, or like, look at her purse, you know,
Don't go
rather
all
than
nice on the car, or so you can look down the street.
yeah. You know, it's like you don't want to offend someone. Like me, I don't take it personally unless my lady like stares. If she's staring, that's a problem.
Right.
But I mean, there's also sayings like, hey, looking's for free, but touching's gonna cost you. So it's like you can look at someone, but the moment you try to approach them or try to like make a move, then that's a problem, you
Yeah,
know?
that's enough.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I think it's sweet. On the other hand, Alon, that Sam would want to make the person he's with, feel special by not noticing. See, for me, it would be more of a compliment. I mean, I think saying, "Oh, she's got a nice purse," but your purse is nicer, or something corny like that. But that's the sweet part of Sam, which is why he's my co-host on Thursdays. But I still think that, and I'm agreeing with you. The bottom line has to be: do you feel 88% good about yourself? And when you do feel good 88% of the time about the way you look, then it really doesn't matter, what else is out there or what others are doing. Now, if you're with a partner who is constantly doing this,
Oh, yeah.
right? Then, do you really want that rubbernecking? At the same time, it is shown, this is not a stereotype, that men are attracted by their eyes more so than women are attracted by their ears and
Ears.
what is
Yep.
heard. So that's a genetic difference. I'm going to have, I met Dr. John Gray. Again, he was one of the speakers in San Diego at Secret Knock. And it was delightful. I've actually had him on my show twice before, early on in my first or second year. And he remembered me and is going to come back on. That would be a great question to ask. But his whole thing is that, is that because women and men are different, that what you want or think as a woman doesn't necessarily factor in. There's a difference in testosterone and estrogen. So it's fascinating. Anyways, final word. Both of you.
Go for
Go. Sam.
Okay.
Final word. Oh, shoot. No
work
time.
on your work on yourself before you work with others.
Okay. Elan, quick.
Just work on being together and have equal, I don't know. I'm signing off. I'm not today.
I'm so sorry. Yeah, I didn't see the 3 minute. It was 1 minute instead of 3. Thank you so much for joining this very interesting, scintillating, and tempting conversation today with Elan Carter, Sam Works, and I. I know you'll keep it tuned here. I wish you the best weekend ever, and it's all about balance. Peace in, peace out. World peace through inner peace. Now go and have the best weekend ever. We'll see you on Monday.
Bye, guys.
Bye.